So far, I've found 6 ways to make food taste good. I'm going to talk about them. The first one are aromatics, the second one are vegetables, the third are spices, the fourth are strong flavor ingredients, the fifth are sauces, and the sixth is the way we cook food. For aromatics, I'm talking about things like solid things like garlic and onion and celery and ginger and peppers, red peppers, green peppers. Broths, I mean vegetable broths, chicken broths, beef broths, mushroom broths. It can be liquid, it can be those cubes, or it can be powder. Then the spices. These are the spices that are the most important for me: garlic and pepper, then oregano for fish, rosemary for meat, turmeric and paprika because I like them very much, Asian because I like ginger because I like Asian food, and ground pepper because I like spicy food. The sauce, then the strong flavor ingredients, things like dried tomatoes, caramelized onion, sausages, tuna, sardines. Strong flavor ingredients. For instance, today's meal was chicken with a very strong sauce. With that chicken, I can then use to infuse flavor to some broth and make a soup out of it, or I can use it to have it with ramens, as long as they have a very strong flavor that will not be washed away when used in another dish. The sauces I have here, English sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and soy sauce. But I also like mustard, and there are many others, I'm sure. And the way we cook, the way to add flavor to, I'm going to take this out of the sun, to add flavor to a dish. There are 2 ways. One is the solid base, which uses the aromatics and then all the others, or just these, to provide flavor. And the other one is a liquid, and that one uses either broth or sauces. Either it uses aromatics, meaning solids, or uses liquids to provide flavor. It then boils down to using that flavor to choose what to do with it. Just add proteins and rice, add proteins and pasta, or add proteins, veggies and rice or pasta, or just add veggies. So the food stop being several ingredients meal to what is the flavor I want to have and how can I get it, and what I'm going to have it with, so that I can keep the flavor and cook either the proteins or the carbs or the veggies or all of them. It reduced it to it. Any of those flour bases, of those solid flour bases, can be transformed into a liquid base. The way we do it is we cook a big amount of these, we reduce it. Well, we don't reduce it, we allow a lot of the liquid to evaporate, and then we cut it into pieces and we use it as like solid broth. Just show that in the pot, and the flavor will be already in there, or literally liquid the sauces that we're going to use. Thinking, we can't stop thinking in terms of ingredients, but in terms of what makes a dish. We can think in terms of protein. So am I going to have this flavor with meat, with fish, or with well, there's only meat and fish. Oh, okay, of course, vegetarian, like eggs or cheese, or any dairy thing. Am I going to use it with a vegan thing like beans? And can I keep the flavor I've already built during the time that it will take to cook these proteins? If so, we just put the proteins in and let it cook. If not, we have to cook the proteins before and then add it to the flavor base. The way we cook the proteins can also add or take flavor out. Um, we don't want to take the flavor, but we also don't want to overpower any flavors in those proteins because we already have a source of flavor to it. Very very simple cooking, not any no braising, no roasting, nothing like that. Just putting it in the pot with a bit of water or enough water for it to cook without being washed out. A little bit of salt. Simple. But it doesn't have to be that because the way we cook food interacts with the way that the food tastes, but also in the texture of food. A roasted chicken is different than a cooked chicken, and it's different from a sautéed chicken. And accordingly to our tastes, the more options we have, the better, because it allows us to have variety. Since now we are dividing the flavor in the food in flavor and proteins, carbs, and veggies, we can then make a few flavor bases like curries, like stews, like just the solid base, for instance, and have it already done, ready to go to the pot, and then just add the proteins. If the proteins can be cooked with it, perfect. If not, we can also cook the proteins ahead of time and just put them together whenever we want a meal. And it takes as long as it takes for both to warm up enough and share their flavors. And I'll try to make a video, the next video I'll try to make about it, how to make a meal plan based on flavor, because it's different. It can use the same principles. I mean, we can still use the proteins, the um, the different proteins and the things that are the base of a meal to to make the meals, but it's more independent from recipes. Of course, in order to be independent from recipes, we already need to know what we like, what flavors we like, so we can reproduce them. And it's okay if we don't. The thing of following a cuisine, of having one cuisine to follow, is precisely to understand what are those flavors and use them. If you know don't yet have one cuisine, if you're all over the place, it's going to be harder because you'll be making different things every time. But if you choose one sort of cuisine, you'll start noticing some patterns. You'll basically be making or using the same base of flavor, and as you do it or watch several videos about it, you'll realize, oh, but it's always the same thing, it's always the same thing. And that means that's the flavor base. And once you have it, you can then reproduce it with any other things. You can learn from it and see what it uses and flavors, the ones that you're more used to or like more, but in the same way. I'll give you an example. Soy sauce is used with onion to make a base for a sukiyaki dish, which is in the short. But the point is, it's a liquid flavor base with a solid flavor base. And I decided to make a resemblance thing, but without the soy sauce, with the broth, with a vegetable broth. And guess what? It works. It still allows a lot of flavor, but the flavor is no longer the one from the soy sauce, it's from the vegetable broth and the onion, of course, but it tastes nice as well. So first we learn what we need to do, and then we would just what we need to do it with. That's one way of doing it, and I want to have as many ways that will allow me to cook a bigger variety of foods. If we talk about chicken or meat, it's usually a set thing. But if I get an ingredient I'm not used to, uh, I can then at least use a flavor to which I am used and make that ingredient taste good as well. I find that important too. So the next video, I'll talk about how I've been meal planning based on flavor, and how we can easily now get into the kitchen and whip up a meal without having to stress our mind. When I say I'll talk about, I'll give um, examples so that it's easier, because it's exactly what I've been talking about, but in a more specific way.